Nessa girl, it's that time again. Cakes by Keon. What better way to bring in all your celebratory events in the new year than with Cakes by Keon? You ain't got no money, don't worry about it, girl. Keon take EBT, honey, from all 50 states. That's right. All 50 states, if you got food stamps, you too can have Cakes by Keon. Don't live in Atlanta, don't even worry about it, baby. Just like Amazon, we'll ship anywhere. We can take your EBT, your cash, or your credit over the phone. Cakes by Keon. Get your cakes now.
Nessa girl, the absolutely most annoying thing in the world to somebody who records video just happened. I previously recorded a 30-minute Fix My Life review, and then when I got it to the computer, something was wrong with the sound, so now I have to do it all over again. And I feel away because that was a really good video that I just did, and I'm going to try to recreate the magic. Nevertheless, this is one of those videos that I speak just from the cuff and from the heart and don't have to use notes because it moved me to chorus. Yesterday, Iyanla had watched an episode of Iyanla called Reality Rehab. I had just finished doing the Housewives and Married to Medicine reviews, and I didn't even know that the season of Iyanla Fix My Life had returned until somebody got on my Twitter feed and told me all about it. Long story short, the entire episode, the umbrella of the episode was searching for external validation from people, and that's what the ladies were there to get some sort of help from. They all got into reality TV thinking it was going to be one thing, and it ended up costing them more than they gained. Before we get into the episode, though, I want to get into something that's a bit personal. That's a parallel between what Iyanla was talking about as it relates to searching for external validation. The number one question that I get being in media, being Funky Dineva, being on YouTube is, how do you do it? And I always say, what do you mean? Dineva, how do you do it? I mean, I want to start a blog, or I want to start a podcast, but I'm just so scared that people gonna attack me, and I see what they be saying. Ooh, girl, how do you do it? And when they was coming for you during the Blue Abbey thing, how do you do it? This, that, and the third. And in the beginning, I would always look at them and be like, I don't know, the shit just don't bother me, because it doesn't. Now, did it bother me in the very beginning? Slightly, but not that much, because I had a come to Jesus meeting with myself that said, Q, you cannot allow somebody who you do not know, who has no face behind a computer, who works at the damn front desk of an insurance office in Minnesota, make you feel any kind of way about yourself. There's only but so many times you can be called ugly, this, fat, skinny, a crackhead, this, before you just get immune to it. And then I came to realize, after taking a more introspective look, is that who I am is not wrapped up in what other people think of me, and it just isn't. And I'm going to tell you a story that got me to that place. Growing up, and y'all always hear me crack jokes about I wasn't raised like that, but I was raised a lot differently from a lot of the kids on my block. My mom kept me sheltered. I wasn't allowed to listen to the rap music, while all the other kids had, the latest shoes, the Jordans and the Grant Hills. I used to wear shoes from Stride Ride that quite frankly looked like orthopedic shoes. My mama took pride in dressing me like somebody from Boys to Men, with the shorts on, with the polo shirt tucked in with the belt. To her, that looked fly. To the rest of the kids, I looked nerdy, while they had on their jerseys and their Jordans and their baggy clothes. It wasn't until later in life I became one of the cool kids. Nevertheless, in late elementary school, early middle school, I had a conversation with myself that went, Q, you're not like those kids. You're not like the cool kids. You're not like the popular kids. And you can either keep killing yourself trying to be accepted by a group of kids who don't want to accept you, or you can celebrate and be who it is and what it is you are. You're the smart kid. You're the funny kid. Just be that. And while you're so busy chasing these kids over here that quite frankly don't want to be your friend, you've got all these kids, all these smart, funny kids that don't fit in with everybody. They're trying to beat your door down to be your friend. Run to the people that love you and fuck the ones that don't. And it was in that moment that I learned that who I am and my self-worth is not tied to what other people think and other people's acceptance of me. And that is why I'm able to navigate this entertainment world so easily. The blogs, the lipstick alley threads, the perpetual videos by other people on YouTube trying to gain some followers by using my name and regurgitating some shit they heard from somewhere else, or basically repeating some shit that we already know. It really doesn't bother me because my self-worth is not tied up into that. To be honest, I love y'all to death, but it ain't tied to y'all either. Now, it is tied to my family, the people in my immediate circle, what they think of me, that matters. But the general public, people I don't know, people who don't impact my life one way or another on a daily basis, I could care less. Moving into the episode, we start with Thiefy. Thiefy gets there, and you know, Iyanla always says, I'm apprehensive about doing TV with reality people and celebrities because I have to question if they're here to make TV or if they're here for healing. Thiefy was reluctant the whole process through. Iyanla puts Thiefy's mugshot on the screen, and instantly Thiefy gets very withdrawn, and Iyanla was like, so how did you get here? What was this for? And Thiefy's like, I think the charge, I think the charge was battery. And Iyanla looking at her like, bitch, you went to a whole jail. Like, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Listen, I don't heard that shit so many times on Law and Order. I think that's the first time in life I ever recited it. And my law enforcement people, I think I about got this shit right. Despite the fact that I only been to jail once and quiet as it's kept, I don't even think that man read me my Mirandas. Nevertheless, how the fuck, bitch, your life been turned topsy-turvy, upside down, you don't have to go to court for knocking the shit out your baby daddy and you don't remember what the fuck you went to jail for? So Iyanla's looking at her like, come on, mama, I mean, we only 5 minutes into the process. So Iyanla's like, what did you want out of this experience, out of the Love and Hip Hop experience? I wanted fame and money. And Iyanla said, fame for what? And Thiefy there looking stupid. She was like, you wanted to be famous for what? And Thiefy was like, so Iyanla was like, okay, you dumbass little girl, let me help you out. What is your skill set? What is the product? What is your talent that you want to be famous for? Reluctantly, Thiefy defaulted to singing. Oh, you know, I'm a singer, I sing. But you could tell that was just an answer that she pulled out of her ass. So Iyanla gets upset with her and is like, listen, are you here to make TV or are you here for healing? So Thiefy was like, I mean, well, isn't this going to be on TV? I mean, and Iyanla's looking like, so you can already tell this just is not going to work well. Thiefy is not there for the healing. She's not there for the process. And Iyanla breaks down to her that I can tell you're not here for healing because my producers just handed me my phone and the first thing we see is you posting that you're on set, you're getting ready to do Iyanla on your Instagram, which signifies to me, again, you just want people to know you're here with Iyanla Vanzant so other people can think you doing something in life. And that's when Iyanla gut punched her ass. Iyanla went back to that whole, what did you want to be famous for? And you could tell in 45 seconds, Thiefy had to take a look at her life and realize, you know what, I'm shallow and I ain't shit. Because, you know, and the Thiefy story resonates with me so much because I sit in this space and review so much reality TV where you've got all these people who are on TV because they just want to be recognized. And we've got this little running joke in the community, and especially in the Atlanta community, where, you know, a lot of people say, fuck fame, give me the check. But believe it or not, you got more people who are in it for the fame and don't give two fucks about the check. Look at people like Shay Johnson. Shay been on reality TV how long? She got to be like one of the first ones up there with New York. And you still ain't got nothing for it. That's because you're not there for any other reason than to be famous, recognizable, and popular. And I'm going to tell y'all something. With my F-list popular ass, fame ain't good for shit other than getting in the club free. Beyond that, it ain't worth nothing else. It is a jail cell lined in gold. And I'm on the F list. Don't get me wrong, I like it and it makes me feel good. But there are times when you go out to the grocery store and folks all in your face, "Fine, I didn't even say this. Oh yeah, girl, I like the one you did when you said," and it's just like, okay, girl, I just want to get some milk. Like, get out the way. Or you at the register and folks taking pictures. Fame is a jail cell lined in gold. But when Iyanla said to Thiefy, "What, are you famous for? What was your plan?" And she was like, "See, because you went into it and you did not have a plan or purpose, that's why none of y'all got anything out of it." Then a light bulb went off and it made me think about the people who have successfully gotten something out of reality television. First person that comes to mind for me is Kandi Burruss, right? Now, Kandi came into it with money already. But Kandi came into it with the plan. What was Kandi's plan? This show gets millions of views. I am going to use this show as a marketing vessel to market my other businesses. That is what she's done. I look at Rashida, who I'm sure has gotten some tutelage from Kandi. But Rashida's situation is different. I used hip hop as the catalyst to get me on this show. But let's face it, my music ain't doing, it ain't doing all of that. This music ain't gonna take me but too much further. I'm about to get aged out. But what am I gonna do? I'm gonna transition into this fashion, into this retail stuff, and use this show as a vessel to market it. Look at K. Michelle. K. Michelle had an entrance to the business. Then she, was kind of not dropped. If you look at the very first interview that I did with K. Michelle prior to Love and Hip Hop Season 1 dropping, K says to me in the interview, I said a joke where I was like, "Child, because they selling your CD in Walgreens." And K. Michelle says, "I'm just trying to get my CD on the shelf of Walmart." Okay? She recognized where she was at that time. She used the reality TV vessel to become everything that she is now. I look at the Cardi B's. There are people out there who, if you go into it with a plan, you get something out of it. Julian, Amara La Negra's manager, who manages Amara La Negra, Trina, and about 2 or 3 other people who are on Love and Hip Hop Miami. They had a plan going into it, not just fames, likes, and views. And that's the difference between them and the Bianca Bonnies and the Shay Johnsons and all these other ones who've been on it and have gotten nothing for it. You got to have a plan. And so, the same thing with the Jocelyn's. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, Jocelyn is very great TV, but now that franchise is over, and yeah, they say you're doing this other show on We, but mama, what is the plan? What is the plan? And so it was just refreshing and sad to see at the same time that Thiefy was just caught up in the sauce and really has nothing to offer the world, yet alone herself. So much so that Thiefy quit. The next day she sent a note and she was like, production got what they got. They can edit and use what they have. I'm not returning. And that was Iyanla's confirmation that Thiefy was there to make TV and not for healing. And you know what? I'm glad she moved out of the way so the women that really did want it could get what they needed. The most touching story for me was Dutchess. I think her real name is Christiana. Dutchess's profile is very similar to mine in the sense that she came from a very structured background, very well put together. Straight A student, magna cum laude from college, grandma evangelist, dad a pastor. I mean, just always been on the straight and narrow. Iyanla asked her, then why did you flock to reality TV and what did you intend to get out of this? And Dutchess responds, because I grew up in such a routine life where everything was so picturesque, picture perfect, structured, country, saved, academic. She was like, I did it as a form of rebellion. I wanted to rebel, and I get that. All young people, we all have gone through it or will go through it. She gets to black ink and she creates this character of herself. And in the midst of that, she loses herself. When she tries to be the real her, the producers tell her, this is boring, nobody wants to see that. When she's cussing folks out and jumping across tables, then she's positively rewarded. Yeah, we want more of that. Then she's popular, this, that, and the third. Many of you may not understand, but what that does to a person subconsciously, it says you're not enough. It says who and what you are and what you have to offer is not enough. We don't want you. We want that. And I was able to relate to that in the greater sense because when I started out doing this YouTube thing many moons ago, when I was wearing the wife beater and the $30 bob wig, y'all got introduced to Dineva, Funky Dineva Ross first. You never knew Quentin Q for a very long time. And the reason being is because y'all, the people, laughed so much at Dineva, I questioned if they would even like Q. So Q hid behind Dineva for many years because Dineva was a safe space. I didn't care what you said about Dineva. I didn't care if you called her ugly. I didn't care if you called her stupid. I didn't care if you critiqued her because that was a character. She wasn't a real person. But if you say that about Q, then oh shit, it must be true. And it was another one of those situations, again, I can relate. I was positively rewarded for being Dineva. I was quite unsure how I would be rewarded for being Q. Lo and behold, I grabbed control of what it was I was feeling and gave the world what I wanted the world to have, and I let the chips fall where they fall. Those who like it do, and those that don't can kiss my ass and lick it with it. Moving right along. I like the fact that Dutchess was really there for the healing. So Iyanla does this exercise, and I want y'all to pay attention here. She does this exercise where she has the producers walk in and she wants all the ladies to remove all the makeup from their face. And Dutchess gives the producer a lot of pushback and she's like, I cannot be on national television without my makeup done. And the producer says, you have to take that up with Iyanla. Iyanla walks in the room and it was like, what's going on? And Dutchess is like, I've been attacked so much on my looks that I don't feel comfortable. Iyanla says to her, what if your healing is behind that makeup? Flood of tears and emotion starts to flood. Now I'm sitting here starting to think, because I've hung out and hang out with a lot of girls who are self-conscious about their skin because they have skin issues. I'm sitting here thinking that Dutchess' skin is going to be the prime candidate for a Proactive commercial. We get to the next scene and Dutchess, I am here to tell you that your natural face without makeup does not look very far off from your made up face, which is a beautiful thing because a lot of these hoes that you see on TV look like gremlins up under that makeup. Dutchess, you're light skinned, you got a few little dark spots from maybe where you had mosquito bites or pimples or something. Newsflash, every black woman got them. Every woman got them. Dutchess' skin is not bad. Her skin ain't no more or less bad than anybody else's or whatever. And I say that to say that you are beautiful with or without. And I hate the fact, and I can speak on this because I roll with these bitches. I hate the fact that this reality TV and this Instagram has gotten people to a point where they can't even embrace them real selves or be them real selves for 10 minutes. Listen, I think that it's okay for people to see the imperfect you. Nobody walks around every day with a face beat. Y'all don't know how annoying it is, especially on the Atlanta social scene, hanging out with these reality TV girls. We'll be at a party or something and it'll be time to go. And they'll be like, Q, can you take a picture? Anybody that knows me knows I hate being the cameraman. So if we're going to do it, let's quick 1, 2 so we can go. My brain races too fast to be standing still like this, and quite frankly, the vanity disgusts me. I don't like it. These bitches will sit there, you take 3 pictures. Okay, take it with a flash. Take it from down here. Okay, make sure you get the shoes. Then your hand is there 6 of them in the picture. You hand one of them the phone. They all gotta look through it. Oh, I don't like. Then they will take your phone and delete shit out your phone because they don't like the way they look. Do it in Snap. Put this filter on. Okay, make sure you got my collar part. And it's all for y'all to be able to like, or to be like, oh, so, you a bad bitch. You bad. You go out with these girls, they see a camera and don't have their weave in or their makeup on. You would thought them hoes seen goddamn Lucifer himself. They will haul ass from a camera. Can't even go to a pool party half decent with these types of girls because they so worried about what y'all gon' say about how they look. And I just could never understand how people could be raised in a way where they were not fortified enough in their upbringing to be comfortable enough being themselves. I'm at a pool party. I'm not supposed to look like I just got off the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine. I'm supposed to look like a wet noodle. I just been in the pool for 4 hours having fun with my family and my friends. I hope whatever cruelty-free makeup I had on prior to me sticking my face under 200 gallons of chlorine water, I would hope by the time I come up out of the water, that shit is off my face, because it's not, it's plaster from Home Depot. Those are real moments. You know, y'all got on me, they got on me the other day, because Christmas time, I was with my brother, my friend that I've been knowing for almost 20 years from college. I had the esteemed honor of going to Tampa and chilling with my sister. Then my friend said, you have not met my kids yet, and you have not seen my wife since you spoke at our wedding. Come over and spend some time with my family. I threw on some jeans. I took a shower at my sister's house. I threw on some jeans and a shirt and my Nike slides, and I went to my friend's house. And at the end of hanging with my friend, my brother said to me, Q, can you sit here and take a picture with my kids? You Uncle Q. And I sat down with his kids and he took a picture, and I felt so proud to watch my friend come from the boy I met freshman year to the boy that now has the 5-bedroom house, the awesome job, and the perfect family. I posted the picture on Instagram because I wanted to share with my other friends and y'all the joy I felt in my heart in that moment. And all the general public could cackle about was the fact that my ankle was ashy. Yes, it was. I'm dark skinned. I had just got out of the shower. And I was one of those kids that, bitch, if I ain't wearing shorts, I don't put on lotion. And you know what? I'm comfortable with y'all seeing my ashy ankle down to Instagram, because you know what? That moment wasn't about how my ankle looked. It was about how my heart felt being with my friend and his 2 kids, and how the fuck that looked. That's what happiness looks like. What a bunch of you keyboard trolls need to find. That's why you're able to troll other people so hardly and so harshly, because you're miserable yourself. And that's why others like me, I'm comfortable being able to be there with an ashy ankle. Because I'm going to tell you one thing about me, bitch. Ain't a bitch alive that's smarter than me, that's cuter than me, and that's more pulled up than me, bitch. Okay? I'm going to tell you one place my ankle ain't ashy, bitch. In the boardroom, bitch. I'm going to tell you one place it wasn't ashy, bitch. When I walked across that stage getting that college diploma, bitch. I'm going to tell you another place it ain't ashy. When I'm at Viacom and at the Bravo offices having these consulting meetings about their upcoming shows and what I think, it ain't ashy then, bitch. When I'm touring the stage and touring the world with Madison and we out there twerking and getting y'all $50 a city, my ankle ain't ashy then, bitch. Trust and believe. A bitch know when to put lotion on their ankle. And all of that was a metaphor for everybody is not prisoner to being validated by other people. And when you are able to stand in your authentic self and just be you, it is the most freeing, most gratifying, most like I really feel like I've arrived because of that. That is why I am able to sit back and allow these people on this YouTube, on these blogs, to say some of the most vile things about me that, quite frankly, other people would take them to court and sue for. It don't bother me. That shit don't bother me one bit, because I know who I am. I know what I'm worth, and I know who I'm loved by. I don't care about critiques from people who don't love me. I don't care about what people who are committed to not liking me are going to say about me. That is their job, to say the most vile, nasty things about you. They don't like you. That's what they're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? But I say all of that to say, we've all got to move to a place where we don't need to be validated by outside people. And the last young lady, I didn't really watch Bridezilla, but I saw the clip. Her name was Minyon, and she ended up fighting her sister down to the ground outside in the field. And long story short, she was saying that she thought going on Bridezilla would be great, and that they had just did some sort of physical exercise, and the producers asked that instead of giving her sister some water, she throw the water on her. She threw the water on the sister got in their face. They end up getting into a knockout, drag-out brawl on the baseball field. It comes back to Minyon, and she's crying, and she's like, y'all, I am on national TV and I fought my sister. She was like, that has never happened before. We didn't grow up fighting and carrying on like this. She said, I went to get a job in the medical profession. The people Googled me, and the lady said, if we hire you, do we have to be worried about you fighting one of us if you get upset? She was no longer married. The very show she did to get the husband for, she no longer got the damn husband. So you've lost your sister because she and the sister don't really talk. She's lost some family relationships. She's gotten, funny looks in her employment world. All to do is show about getting married and don't even got the man no more. So she just took all the fucking L's. And for what? Because you thought it would be fun to be on a show called Bridezilla where you're celebrated for being a bitch. And she was just saying how she wanted to get back to her real self and not be worried about what other people think, and just knowing in her heart that she is enough. It was a very good episode. I encourage anybody who has children growing up in this microwave Snapchat generation who has no real drive and purpose, and you notice them just always on the snap, to point them in the direction of this episode, and particularly let them hone in on the Althea part, because you've got to have a plan. Listen, technology is great. We can't bash social media because we spend the rest of our lives doing it. It's where we are right now. It's the world we live in right now. And if you're not up on it, you're going to get left behind. But there is a way that it can be done in a healthy manner that helps you, push your agenda forward and not just succumb to all of this likes, clicks, views, and shares just because you think you're cute. Y'all, I've been talking enough. I'm going to sign off. But Iyanla Van Zant, she's really, let me tell you something. And Iyanla doesn't know this. Between my own personal therapist and Iyanla, and my ability, like Iyanla says, to do the work, to do my work on me, behind closed doors, in solitude, in the still of the night, the shit has made me a better me. The shit has made me a better person. Iyanla has been put on this earth for a reason. And there are several people that I really respect in this media business that I want to be a lot like. Wendy Williams is one of them, and this is something personal that I'm sharing with y'all. Wendy Williams is one of them. Arsenio Hall was the first person I ever looked at and said, I want to be like him. I want to be a talk show host. I want to be cool like Arsenio Hall. And Iyanla Van Zant is another one. So those, when you look at the personalities and the makeup types of those three people, I hope y'all get a better understanding of why it is I like being in front of this camera doing what it is I do. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to have a good 2019, y'all, because I came into this bitch feeling good. And I'll call you later. Bye!